Hey y'all, welcome back to Simple Sanctuary. My name is Sarah. Last week I took you on a tour of my garden because we are in the start of like a 3-week transition between first summer and second summer. It's basically where a lot of things start to die back, but our growing season in north central Florida is so long that I basically have the opportunity to replant most of my summer garden and try again. One of my biggest reasons for gardening, like so many other people, is tomatoes. I absolutely love tomatoes. I grew up on them. This year, I didn't get as many as I'd hoped to get because I planted late. I started from seed for the very first time and had no idea what I was doing. So by the time I actually got seedlings and got things ready, it was a little late to get them in, so I didn't get everything I wanted. However, I'm not going to admit defeat. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to clone your tomatoes, take you step by step through the whole process. It's actually really easy to do. And this way I will have brand new plants to get in the ground and get going for when this heat finally breaks in like 2-3 weeks. Step 1 is you basically just stop pruning the suckers off of your tomato plant. So we have got suckers of all stages here, because at this point I'm more concerned with cloning than I am with getting produce. So in case you don't know, a sucker is like a little branch that comes up in what a lot of people call the armpit of your tomato plant. For those of you brand new to the tomato world, this is what we call a sucker. And it is this little branch, sometimes it looks like a seedling, that pops up in the corner of the stem and just a regular leafy branch. All you have to do is just let them grow. Leave them alone, let them do their thing for a few days, maybe about a week. You want them to be a little bigger. This guy is a little too small to use for cloning, so you could either leave him on here, or if there was something you didn't like about him, you would just pinch him off and prune him away. On the flip side, you also don't want your suckers to get too big. If they get too big, it's going to be really hard for you to get them enough water once you've rooted them. It's not that they couldn't do it, it's just a lot harder. This branch right here goes all the way up here, is really borderline too big. I'm probably still going to try to root him just because he's on one of these swizzle stakes and he's more likely to break off in a storm. My rule of thumb is that I want it to be able to sit in just a little bit of water. So basically I put them in a shot glass. If they are too big to be in a shot glass, I consider them too big to root. All right, so I prefer suckers that are about this size, right? So let me see, this branch right here. He's got a few branched or leaf branches on him, but they're very small. They're more like seedling branches than they are anything else. So he's going to be one that's going to be easier to get him plenty of nutrients and water and get him to root than a bigger branch. When you've chosen your favorite clone, you're going to, this is actually going to be kind of difficult to do one-handed. So we snipped him off close to the stem, and you can see how all of his branches are still pointing up. He doesn't have any of the really floppy branches yet, and I will be putting him into some water. These are some suckers that I trimmed off a couple weeks ago. Honestly, they've been in the water a little longer than is ideal. You really only want them in here for like a week tops, but it's really easy to show you guys the roots. Do you see those? These all have fantastic long silky roots, and that's what you want to see. What I'm going to do now is take those cuttings that have developed roots and put them in some pre-moistened dirt. Basically exactly what you would do if you were potting up regular tomato seedlings. Here is my pot. I just moistened this so it like just leaked on me. Anyway, here's my pot, here is my dirt, complete with moisture, and I'm just going to make a little bit of a hole and stick the tomato seedling in it. So it's not a very scientific process. I just shloop, there's a hole. Let's see. And I'm going to take this guy complete with roots and gently put him in this hole. I actually might make it a little deeper. Okay, that angle looks like it might work. So let's actually make this hole a little deeper. The deeper you can bury a tomato, the better, because all of this will put off root and it's just going to give him more support as he grows. All right, so I've got all of his silky little roots down there by his base. I'm just going to pack him in nice. This, again, this soil is already moistened, so he's going from water to really well moistened soil. He might have a little bit of shock just because he is so much older, and I really should have done this days ago, but he should be good to go now. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys about this particular cutting for a second. You can see he's got great roots, but if you notice, let me see if I can get closer so you can see. Ooh, dirty finger. Sorry, Mom. Anyway, his top has died. So on all the cuttings, there's this nice little topper portion, and this one has died back. This is not the plant's fault. This is entirely my fault because I let it sit in the water too long. You remember this dude that I just cut? I'm going to put them in the water together, just like this. And the reason I'm doing that is because when a plant starts to root, that also puts out a hormone. And with that hormone already being put into the water, it's going to encourage that cutting to put out roots even faster. So even though that tomato is not going to get planted, he's still doing good for his brother and sister cuttings and helping them to root better as well. Some of you may be saying that you have heard from numerous sources that you can just cut off the sucker, put it straight into the dirt, and you're good to go. And that may be true for a lot of people. I have yet to have any success doing that. I don't know if it's because of the heat here. It could very easily be a skill thing. I don't know. But I do know that this water method, it works. Well, that's what I have for you guys today. Quick and easy cloning of tomatoes. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. And if you know any tips and tricks to make cloning tomatoes even easier, please share those. I would love to know all the advice that you have there. If you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you'd like to follow along as we share our gardening journey this summer, please be sure and hit subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. We'll talk soon.